Howdy folks, it's Ajo the Hunting Gear Guy, and this is the Crossman Repeatair 1008. It's an 8-shot 177 pistol. Use a little like rotary magazine here. Shoots 177 pellets and it's CO2 powered, so we've got a CO2 canister in the side there. It's got kind of like, it allows you to use the hammer. Oh, yeah, there we go. Allows you to use the hammer if you want to, or just pull through on double action. So it's a DASA air pistol. Weird. You might be able to tell from some of the wear on this thing. I've had this thing for a while. I've had it since I was 13, maybe, somewhere around there. It's okay. Like in terms of being able to kill small game, I would say it's pretty underpowered. 177 pellets are pretty light. And here in Canada, these pistols are limited to like no more than 500. And this one, maybe it's doing that with a fresh cylinder, but is definitely not doing that once it's midway through the cylinder. I've shot a ton of stuff with this thing. And the stuff that's died, usually a headshot or fresh cylinder, and and really make use of that repeating in there and really pound a bunch of shells into them. Which is the case I've done like pigeons, grouse, squirrels, all that kind of stuff. And with the pigeon, like even with a fresh cylinder, I cranked like 8 rounds into like the chest of a pigeon. It died, but it didn't die like immediately right then and there. I would prefer to use headshots with something like this. It is nice and small and compact. The grip on it is actually really nice. It's a full-size grip. And it's very easy to get like a two-handed purchase on it. The rear sight is fully adjustable, so we've got a screw on the side there for going side to side, and we've got a screw on the top here for elevation. You can see that it's actually floating a little bit above that rear shelf there because you can set the height on it. Keep in mind that your drop is going to change based on how much CO2 you've got in there. You see that I'm empty right now with very little CO2. It's got a bit of a snap to it, but it is not putting out a ton of power or a ton of speed. So what are the pros and cons of this thing? I really like the safety. The safety is like a nice big blocky cross bolt safety on it. It's very easy to use. The rotary mags you can actually buy extras of these. They're really cheap, and so you don't have to take like a box of pellets with you. If you want to go small game hunting, you can just grab like 3 of these things, pop it in there, keep one in the gun, a couple in your pocket, and you're really good to go. Very quick to reload. Some of the things I dislike, if your pellets are loose in this and they move back or forth, that can sometimes cause this magazine to like lock up in there, and it can kind of be hard to like pull it out or get it to rotate. You do need to make sure that you are indexed on it so that that top one is right in the middle. If I were to cross it like that and then pull it down, I might not get it to actually fire properly on that on the next round. The hammer and what you do with that is a little bit odd. So if I just pull, it'll fire, but it can be possible to like pull this thing and then have it have the hammer stop on the way forward. Using the hammer by itself, oops, safety's on here. Pulling that hammer back does give you a slightly lighter trigger press and a little bit less to pull through on. In order to cock the hammer, it has to be pointed down. If you want to uncock it, you can point it up. So that's kind of how that works. And as well, one thing that I found out, if you take this thing apart, so it's just a clamshell, there's 2 sides here. If you take it apart, there's a couple of steel weights in the front here. You can take those out, and then this thing becomes really light and pocketable for small game and that kind of thing. So up to you whether you want to do that or not. I chose to because I want something that's light that you can just chuck in your pocket. Now, if you want to replace the cylinders in there, you're just going to take this guy at the bottom here. This can be a little bit hard for kids to do, so you might have to get an adult to do it. I got a little gas left in this one here. And I'm just going to unscrew that. You definitely don't want to use like pliers or tools on here because you can strip it out. And then there's the cylinder on the way out. It's easy enough to pop another one in. Make sure you don't get any crap up in that brass area there where it's going to make the seal with the cylinder. And then I think this does like an okay job of just covering up that that gap and keeping crap from getting in there and into that that cylinder area. So what kind of trigger pull we got on this thing. First we'll try the double action. 8 pounds. That's pretty consistent with what I remember having this thing as a kid, is that the double action trigger pull was pretty heavy, but I use it now because I don't mind. And the single action was just under 3 pounds. So of course the single action is going to be quite a bit lower. Oh, it just did it. Did you see that? Oh, it didn't catch that time. Is it going to catch? No, it's not going to catch now. No, now it's just working properly. Every once in a while though, there's something in the trigger there catches that hammer from hitting, and you pull the trigger, but it doesn't actually fire. I can't get it to do it now. Whatever. So why am I reviewing this thing now? Well, I think this is going to get banned. I think Canada's going to ban this handgun. C21 has provision in there for guns that aren't real guns, that fire a certain speed of bullet, and this looks like a real gun. Therefore, I think it's going to get banned in a few months here. So I thought I'd do a video of it and show what kind of ridiculous stuff that we've had for, like, I don't know, decades in Canada that's going to get banned. Keep in mind, like, okay, if I put this thing in my pocket and I take it to a gas station and I hold up the gas station, they're going to think it's a real gun. If a cop shoots me, you know, my fault. But apparently the government thinks that maybe it's not my fault that I had access to a gun that looked kind of real, and that they should ban these things. So I think it's like completely stupid. They're just going to rob gas stations with other things that look like guns. You could like make a decent looking replica out of wood if you really wanted to. So I don't know. It seems kind of silly that that stuff that we've had for decades is going to get banned because someone might use it as a stand-in for a real gun and get themselves shot. That should be their own fucking problem. Thanks for watching.